It's live?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You told me.
I did? Okay. Anyway, I'm live. So welcome to our QuiltNCode studio. And I am working today on a Sallie Tomato cork fabric bag. I have never worked with cork fabric before, so I am really excited to share this with you. I didn't have any problems cutting. I have had a little problem sewing, so I'm hoping that I can help you before I get started. Okay, there's stuff going on in the peanut gallery. What?
I said it's because of the little bitty bag.
Oh, no, that's not why it was. Okay, so let me explain to you about this package. So this is the Sallie Tomato. It is the carry-along cork carry-along bag, and it is actually 3 bags in this box. And so when I got this box, I got everything that I needed. So I have the fabric, or the cork fabric. I have in fact, I'll just open it up for you. And so I had everything I needed. I had my interfacing. It was a fusible fleece. I had my lining fabric, which is already all cut up, and I had all my wonderful cork. And I actually got a yard of this and didn't really need all of this because the cutting instructions were phenomenal. I also got all the hardware for all 3 bags, including the zipper tape, which I'm going to explain to you in just a second on how you put that on. Okay, so let's get started. So the directions are phenomenal, and I have those somewhere here, I sure hope. I had everything here. It must be, they're all hiding right under here. Okay, I'm with it, y'all. Okay, so these are the instructions. So I'll put these on the little small camera, and my mom is she's the one behind the camera giving me all the orders right now. And so she is gonna hopefully get that on there so that you can see that. So you can see that there's a small bag, there's a medium bag, and there's a large bag. And so you can see there's a small bag. Yeah, there we go. So hopefully that's showing up on your screen now. Okay, so there's lots and lots of hardware that I've never played with before in this bag. And so that is what is so cool about this. I've been wanting to do this. And so
I'm gonna do both cameras.
Okay, that's fine. So I have been wanting to play with different hardware. So why use zipper tape? Zipper tape, I've never played with zipper tape before, but I have been fascinated by using, those little zipper pulls that have a little bit more fascination. Like I am dying to use a sewing machine zipper pull. So this hardware, I mean, just look at how much more classy that hardware looks compared to your regular sewing machine hardware. So that's kind of cool. Or your regular zipper hardware. So a regular zipper comes with a regular, anyway. This looks so much more classy. So I did finish, and she looks pretty good. I did finish the small bag. I mean, this is my first time ever doing this. And so I was pretty impressed. I did go to the Sallie Tomato YouTube videos to help me with learning how to do the process, but it's also a lot of, okay, I get it, but I'm still nervous about doing it. And so I'm hoping that this video sort of gives you that confidence to go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, so let's start with zipper tape. Okay, now one of the things about the zipper tape that I did struggle with in the pattern was simply that I didn't realize that all my stuff on the back, I never could see in the pattern how small to cut my zippers or where to cut my zippers. And so it didn't occur to me until like this morning that, maybe that information is on the back of the pattern where you're picking out your stuff. And sure enough, that's where the information is. And so I needed to that's where my information to cut my zippers was. I knew on the pattern that I was like, they need to be smaller than what I was making them. But anyway, so here's how. So I've already made the medium size zipper. And of course, I already made the small size zipper and figured that out for you. But that's where that information is so on the back of your pattern, that's where, have a zipper length. And the reason why they did that was because you don't have to use a kit from Sallie Tomato. You could use a pattern. And so you could also use a regular zipper. And so, that you would get anywhere. So they, instead of zipper tape. And so they wanted to, just tell you what size zipper you are. All right, so I think I have not had enough coffee today. So I am drinking a delightful coffee with a white chocolate raspberry creamer. Oh my God. Anyway, so, and it's nice and hot right now. It will not be hot when I'm done with this video. Okay, first things first. So I've got everything sort of in steps. I'm glad I started with the small bag because everything's going to be easy from here on out. Okay, so I'm going to put you over here and I'm going to take you away. All right. I also, I could not have done any of this without clips. And so I have never really been like, okay, I just haven't bought into the bandwagon of the binding clips. I use them a little bit, but I do not use them to their full potential. I know that. And so what I did with everything, this one, because I was scared to put my pins into the cork. I shouldn't be, but I was a little scared to do that. And so I have, as I've completed my steps, I have been making sure I keep, because I have 3 bags here, everything pinned or clipped together. And that way it's been keeping me straight. And I also did a little note of which thing goes with which thing on my with my clips too, because this is a new pattern, and if you have ever done a new pattern, please put that into the comments and tell me you do the same thing. I mean, the first thing I do is I read the pattern and then I say, I can't do this. And then I go and I read the pattern again a couple days later. And then I read the pattern again right before I go to bed, because then stuff starts to make sense. But even this morning, I think that's my 6th time as I'm making the bag and I'm reading all the directions again, it was like, oh, wait a minute, I forgot there's a back to the pattern. And so let me double check in those instructions to see if there's something there I'm missing, okay? Because sometimes I take the pattern out of the case and I say, okay, here I am, I'm ready to start. And they had such good cutting instructions and everything that I really did take for granted that there would be stuff on the back of the pattern. All right, so I highly recommend, if you don't have binding clips, that they are really, really good for this project. They're not like essential, but definitely good for this project. And I've not had any problems pinning cork. I've had a little bit of problems with some skipped stitches, so make sure you're using a Microtex needle. The skipped stitches have not bothered me, but every now and then and to compensate for that, I have lowered my stitch length just a little bit, just so that I know I've got plenty of stitches there. First thing you're going to want to do after you've cut out all your pieces, and like I said, Sallie Tomato has it laid right out there for you. You don't have to worry about a thing. Everything tells you exactly where to cut. The pictures are phenomenal and they're completely labeled, which is why I went ahead and continued to keep that label. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you're going to this is not a good example. So, okay, so actually, I guess it is a good example. So if you'll look, my mom's going to switch it over to the full camera. You'll see this is
the full little camera.
yeah, the full little camera. So you'll see that this is the piece. You cut out a rectangle, okay? And then it has you cut out the little corners, okay? And all the measurements are in the pattern. Okay, and then you're gonna take that fusible fleece. It is a fusible, but I didn't fuse anything to it. I just used the fleece. And you wanna stitch 1/8 of an inch all the way around just to keep that fusible on there. Okay, terrible, terrible example. I was off everywhere. Okay, guys, I was off everywhere. Just on this piece. This is the only piece that I had a problem with. I'm not really worried about it. It's just my fusible. It is tacked in place. It's going to be fine. This is a much better example of how it should have gone all the way around. And I have no idea if you can see that because it's very, very light. And so mom's shaking her head that yes, maybe you can, or nodding her head saying that yes, you may be able to see that. Okay, cool. And so that's the first thing you're going to do. And then you're going to cut out your little corners because it is a bag and we want to make sure that we can have that nice little edge down there. By the way, this is so essential to me. I desperately need one of these in my purse, like literally. All right, cool. So now that I have gotten those pieces prepared and I've done them for all 3 bags, and yep, she's switching back over to the big camera.
Yeah, because you're talking.
It doesn't matter. They cannot hear you because you do not have a mic on.
Yeah.
So then you have your lining. The lining also gets cut out per the instructions. Everything is really, really cool. Okay.
Can I just say one thing? We've got Grace Brody.
Oh, we've got people on. Hello.
We've got Trish Fisher. She says hi from Idaho.
Ooh, hello. Welcome. So
From Idaho because they can't hear me. Remember?
okay, well you're going to have to put a mic on, Mom, because I did not catch those names. So if you'll just pull that mic right out of there, you can tell that Mom doesn't usually run the back of the screen because well, we have so many busy things happening today. It's really, really cool. So my husband and my son are going to the Rotary Club to present the robotics part of our job. And then my brother's downstairs running the shop. So thank you for joining us. I'm so excited you're here. Okay, so I am totally new to zippers while she figures out how to do the mic. Maybe. All right, so go ahead and announce who we've got on.
We have Grace Brody and Tris T-R-I-S Fisher.
Hi,
and
Tristan.
She says hi
Grace?
from Idaho.
Idaho. That is so exciting that we have someone from Idaho.
And I don't think I turned this thing on.
So you're good. I got Grace and Trish. I gotcha. Okay, so this is your, okay, I admit, and Mom's going to show this on the little camera. I admit that zippers scare me to death. And zippers tape is a new concept for me. So you have the pointy end right here, okay? And then you have the little flat end right here. What I discovered, and even though I watched the video, I did watch the Sallie Tomato video. I did. And hopefully this is going to work out all right. You can tell I had to do it a few times. It did take 15 minutes for me to get the first one on, but it only took about 3 minutes for me to get the second one on. So this one's going to whip right on. So you want the little pointy end where the 2 separate zippers are going in, and you're going to just ease that zipper. And all I did was pull it open like that, and I'm gonna ease that on in, maybe. And like I said, I'm on camera now, so it's never gonna work. Here we go. Go on. You got this. They make it look so easy on the Sallie Tomato video, but you know what? They've probably done it a gazillion times. And I did try to go backwards. Boy, did that not work. So go on there. Get in there. And so you can tell why it was pulling away from me. And this is the one I started with all of them. So I'm like, okay, go on. Get in there. This zipper tape is a plastic zipper tape. And so you can sort of throwing it all around, guys. I'm sorry. It really, when I was doing it yesterday, trying to figure it out, I was like, I'm never going to be able to do this on TV. Okay. Got both of them in. Maybe if I hold my mouth just right. Come on. Oh, come on. You got this. Go on there. Go on. There you go. Come on now. Oh. Almost there. Almost got it. Come on. All right. Ah, I did it. Okay. if at first you succeed, try not to act surprised. Okay, so it is a little off. Okay, but that's okay. Because I can go down here.
Just don't go off.
Oh, I can't go off because I sewed it. So I can't go off, but I am going to go all the way down, and I'm going to go all the way back, and I'm going to go all the way down. And then I am going to mark. Okay, see, I'm good now. I did it. Okay, so, but the trick was that I went in from that end. And so I now need my instructions. For my big bag, I need 12 inches of zipper tape. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chalk.
So I'm taking you back again.
Yes, you can take me back again. I'm sorry. I got so excited I didn't tell her what to do.
I have both cameras going.
Okay, good. Okay. So and now that I've got, it's going to be a little bit off there, but I can move down here. And now that I know I need 12 inches, I can go to the end here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark right there at that 12 inches. Okay. And then I'm going to move this guy right over here. And I am going to stitch that. And so let me move the camera over so that you can see what I'm doing. I found this to be the most nerve-wracking part of the bag. And so making sure that we get this part will make you feel more at ease. Okay, so because this is a plastic zipper, and let me see if I can go all the way. No, I don't want to do that.
No, because you can't go back.
Then I won't be able to go back. You're right. I gotcha. I'm good. Okay, because it's plastic, I can go over it with the microtex needle, but I don't. I am very, very picky about using the hand wheel whenever going over a zipper, and I have broken a needle on this project. And so I decided I would just be super, super careful. Okay, cool. So yay! All right, there we go. Okay, so now I have it. I'm gonna move this over a little bit because I don't have much light. Okay, so now I have it stitched right there, okay? And I have this not stitched. So I'm gonna go ahead and stitch this end right here as well, just so that I can make sure it's not gonna come unstitched, but we're getting ready to cover those ends in just a second. Okay. And then I'm gonna go over those very nicely, and I can finish that off. Excellent. Okay. Move this over here. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to use paper scissors to trim these zippers up right here. Okay. So I want to trim that right up so that it's nice and neat. Okay. And I'm going to trim this one up because I'm going to double check that it's 12 inches. Am I good? Yes, I'm good. Okay. So I, that triple check and then go buy more fabric thing. I don't have any more zipper tape. This is it. This is it. So, all right. And then I'm going to take, these are the two pieces or end of my, so this is what's going to make that end be so pretty. Okay. And this is what makes zippers easy, is if you don't have to sew that end into anything, this makes it super easy. And so all you're going to do is take that little zipper closure right here. And the nice thing about this is like one of the things I loved the most about this project is cork doesn't fray or anything. So I don't need to finish these edges. So look at that, it's done. So I don't have to fold over a 1/4 inch. I don't have to do any of that stuff. So here we go. Okay, now I am going to put, I'm not going to lose my coffee. Not happening. Okay, so now I am going to do a little top stitch right across the top of this. You can see how my ends are coming across. That is how it's supposed to be, okay? And I am really, I'm going to keep that zipper down so it's out of my way. And I clipped a little bit, but I'm just gonna, I end up moving them out of the way anyway. So I am gonna do 1/8 of an inch away from my pretty edge here of the cork. So I used a rotary cutter when I was cutting my cork, didn't have any problems. It cut like butter, y'all. I could not believe it. All right, so I am going over just 1/8 of an inch. I got to my zipper, so I'm going to hand wheel that over. I am definitely a hand wheel person when it comes to that. I'm also a pinner. I'm not a clipper, but this project has turned me into a clipper. Okay, so once I get that one, and look at how it just sews so beautifully. It really does. Every now and then you get a little skip stitch, and so the only thing that I can recommend there is that using the Microtex needle, definitely. You're going to have more skipped stitches if you're using a different needle. And then, yeah, so I would do the same thing on the other end. Okay, cool. So you have seen how to do the zipper, put on the zipper. Let's start putting this bag together. So let's get this bag. Now, since I have this zipper already done, we're going to start with the medium bag. All right. I learned, what was I thinking? I started with a little itty bitty bag. So I learned really early on that no matter what, I want to have that zipper in the center of my bag, okay? And then what you're going to do is, let me move things out of my way. I can move this out of my way. Bring this over, and let me see if I can position the little itty bitty camera so that you can see. All right, so we have 2 linings. I'm going to start with this guy because this guy is the one who's so wonky, and I want to show you that he's going to be just fine. I am not a perfectionist sewer. I am an instant gratification sewer, quilter, whatever. I would like to get my stuff done. I'm not going to rip stuff if I don't think I need to. All right, so the idea here is that we're going to take this outer cork edge. Okay, it's so soft. And I am going to fold this in half and just make a crease. That's all I'm doing. I don't need to have an actual pin in there in order to find the center. Okay, so there's my center right there, and I'm going to do the same thing with my zipper. And I want to find the center of that zipper, and I am placing that zipper down. I did it the wrong way. All right, you're moving over there for just a second. All right, I want to make sure, because I am right-handed, that the zipper is going to be on my left-hand side. I want it to open to the right. All right, so there is my center, and here's where my little clippy things come in. So I'm going to clip them right in place. And I am looking also to sort of see, I have no idea if this camera is giving you any good angle. Is it okay?
Yeah, I can put it just on it if you want me to.
No, we're good.
Because you're on it too.
Okay, good. So I'm going to move that to the center, but that way I can move it over to the side as I'm moving it around. All right, but I try and keep it in the center as much as possible. And then I need a couple more clips. All right, and so what I want to do is I want to switch to my zipper needle, my zipper foot, and whee! Which I had just a second ago. Right? There you are. Oh, it goes to the bottom, right? Okay, I'm gonna put this guy over to the side so go anywhere. Now, my zipper foot has 2 sides I can put it on. I don't know which side.
Move your camera up a little bit.
Move the camera up just a little bit. So my zipper foot has 2 different sides that I can put it on. I don't know which side I'm going with yet. Okay, remember, this is my first time making a Sallie Tomato Bag, and so I am going to start over here, and then I'm big on being able to move my needle into different positions, and so I'm going to have that ready to go. So I want to begin by doing a 1/4 inch just to sort of base this baby in place, okay? And so I am actually going to stick with, I think I'm going to go to the other side because I wanted 1/4 of an inch from the edge. I don't want it 1/4 of an inch from the zipper. And I am going to move it over here and just see where it's coming down hand wheel wise. Okay, I'm kind of good with that because then I can go in. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna move this over here so you can sort of see what I'm doing. Good, Mom?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna go forward and backward a little bit just because I want to keep that. It is gonna have a little bit of stress there. So let's give it a little bit of strength. All right. And then my zipper's moving all over the place. It's okay. It's gonna get sewn again. And don't worry. Okay. So now I should have left my needle in there. Okay. And I'm gonna attempt to, oh, look at me go. Earlier I was having so many problems with that.
That was only a little zipper though.
It was this big. I felt like I was working with this big. So we kept saying, as I was working on the other one, it's like, okay, this is going to be so much easier on a bigger bag. So maybe I should have started with a big bag and gone little, but I was like, I need a sample. This is going to work. All right. Okay. Not only that, but I wanted to make sure. How perfect for Sallie Tomato to put 3 bags in there so I could practice on one. Okay, so now I have my, you see that it's right sides together. I didn't even say that. I have my little bag right here. Okay, and you saw my corners are down here because those are my folds. Okay, I'm going to take one of my lining pieces and I am putting that right side to right side and I'm moving the zipper to the middle. I'm going to put this right side to right side, okay? Lining up, make sure you're lining up your edges here. As you go through any bag and you're doing all this, you want to make sure you're lining everything up really, really well. Okay, and then I'm going to clip again. This time I want to get I want to get further in toward the zipper. Remember last time I was just basting? And so this time I really, really want to get further in towards the zipper. Okay. How's it going, Mom? Can you see the sewing machine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. I also want to kind of be off to the end here. And I am using this side of the presser foot to line up with the edge of my fabric. Whoop! Just dumped you right into the sewing machine. Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna put on the little camera.
Okay. So little camera is on. Okay. I am gonna go forward and backward here just a little bit. I am still on my little basting stitch here. I am gonna move that over. And then because I'm using a zipper foot, I want to make sure I'm not going to hit the zipper foot because I have those 2 angles. Okay, so that's going to hold me in place and then I can get started. And my camera's going to move because I placed it right on top of my fabric. There we go. Aren't you beautiful? Excellent. Keep on going. So I am going to put, this time I did put my needle in there like I'm supposed to. And I'm going to come around here and see if I can, it was going to work just as easily. Oh, it did. Gosh, if at first you succeed, try not to act surprised. Okay, here we go. Too much fun. And there was one thing I forgot. Isn't that great? Always one thing you forget.
What'd you forget?
I forgot to put my little thing on. I'll show you in just a second. All right, so I got that on, right? And then this is going to go over like that. Just like that. And I am not even going to worry about that little step I have forgotten until in just a minute. Okay. Just like that. And so now what I want to do is I want to top stitch, okay? I might do it differently than everybody else. I don't know. One of the ways that I kept this in place was that I went ahead and clipped right down there, because this is like a thick sort of thing that you're dealing with. It's definitely a little thicker than what I'm used to dealing with. So there we go. Okay. So now I'm going to move that little zipper out of the way, and I'm going to start right here at the tip. I'm going to stay with my zipper foot the way it is.
Move your camera a little bit further up so it's looking down on your, no, towards the back of the other way.
Other way. This way.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Are you dizzy yet? There we go.
I think they might be able to see better.
Okay, cool. So now I'm still got the zipper foot on. I have not changed the zipper foot. I want to go 1/8 of an inch, so I'm going to move my needle. If you do not have the ability to move your needle, just eyeball where you are on your foot and where you want that, and you're going to be fine. I did that for a long time. So this did not feed through right away, okay? So I just lifted my pressure foot and moved it just a little bit in. It will grab one of these days. Go on. There she goes. And the wonderful thing about this sewing machine is I can just stick that right in there, and I can move that zipper right out of the way. And now I have this gorgeous, gorgeous little top stitch right here for my bag. Whee! Okay. So here is the step. Okay, wait a minute. Let me give it to you. Can you see?
Yeah.
Look at that top stitch, y'all. I am an instant gratification sewer. I am not a perfectionist, and this is turning out far better than I could ever imagine. Okay, so the step that I forgot.
The handle.
I forgot some hardware. So here is my hardware, okay? And somewhere in here are labeled, so this is my little piece of hardware. I'm going to keep the other one in the bag.
Put it under the camera because I've got you on the little camera.
Got you. I'm putting it under the camera. So this is my little key fob. I need my little piece that's going to go on my key fob that looks like that, okay? So it's got to be in this mess of stuff that I have over here. If it's not, I can cut out one really quick. Whee! It had a little label and everything, man. I'll bet you it's this. Okay, cool. But I am going to double check that it is my, this one is my, I have to go back to my instructions. This is my 1.5 by 2 strap connector. Is that right? Nope. All right, you. All right, I'll cut another one out. So you guys will get to see just how easy this is to cut. So this is already 2. That was a really nice thing, is that a lot of the directions, I mean, like everything was very, very uniform. And so this is already 2. So I just need the 1.5 inches. I need my black lines. There we go. Look at that. All right, cool. So the nice thing, oh, you know what? I even had it sewed and everything. It's around here somewhere. I had it ready to go, man. So I am gonna, this one goes long ways, is that right? Or does it, yeah, it goes long ways. So this one goes long ways like this, and so you'll see how easy it is to stitch. I mean, all I'm doing is a top stitch right here and a top stitch right there to get that prepared. bring my sewing machine over. Am I in a good position?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so I already know where my top stitch is with my zipper foot, so I can just whip this thing right out. And I did all 3 of them, and they're hanging out here. It's hanging out here somewhere. The cool thing about all the stuff I got in the kit was that I could probably make another bag. I'm just lacking some hardware. That's all I'm lacking. And I'm so excited about this stuff that I think I'm just gonna, like we already have it as a pre-order on our website. And so Lanny will be putting that into this, my husband will be putting that into the chat so that you have that. So one of the things I did notice about this project was that I was sort of acting like I teach a lot of kids to sew. And I was acting like my kids, like threads have never bothered me before, but this bothers me with this project. So I have been snipping my threads like crazy. I never snip threads. I usually let them hang until the very end of the project. So here's what needed to happen. This needed to come over here like this and get placed here and basted in place really before I put that zipper on. I'm lucky this is the bigger project, so I'm getting away with it. So I skipped that step in the pattern. So if you're going back and following along with me, I skipped that step in the pattern. And so I am just gonna
Move your camera.
move the camera. I will move the sewing machine. How's that?
Okay, that's better.
Yeah. And so this is a little bit, it probably needed to be a little bit further up, but I don't want to run into that zipper, so we're just gonna leave it right where it's at. And know that they do give excellent instructions about how to put that in. All right. Okay, and now that's in place. Okay, now I'm going to put on the other side. So we have our bag like this, okay, with that little guy. Now I will tell you what this does. That little bag, whoo, trying to keep that guy out of the way. Yeah, it was funny. Okay, so I want my bag to be like this, right? I want my zipper to be right here so that when my bag opens, it's like that. And so keep that in mind when you're doing this, okay? So that means that I want to flip this over so that it's right sides together with that, okay? That helps me. I am a visual person. I need to see what's going on. And then I am going to clip this guy in place. Just like that. And I am then going to baste this guy in place. And I think I'm turning it over so I can see my zipper. Right. And I probably could go right on the zipper since I'm just basting it, and that will save me. There she goes. She just wants to slide all over the place. Okay, let me get you out of the way. Perfect. It is much easier with a bigger bag. Start with the big bag. And then once you have it all in place and you know what you're doing, she is sliding all over. The zipper is sliding all over the place. We'll see if I can't. It's going to be fine. Just know that she's going to do that. All right, cool. Now,
it's lining time.
Yay! Doesn't it look so good? Okay, so now I want my lining to go right sides to right sides. Remember, it's lining this piece. So let me move my zipper to the center. It makes life so much easier. And then line up, making sure all my edges and everything are all lined up. And clip in place. And this time I'm simply going to move my needle over just a little bit to make sure that I get a little bit. Let's see, I gotta move that needle up. There we go. And let me make sure I'm not gonna lose my thread. There we go. Coolio. So now I'm gonna move that needle over as far as I can without, there we go. See, I told you I'm big on that hand wheel. And I'm gonna go backwards too. Lining up again with that edge of my presser foot. And I'm gonna go a few more stitches. You know, I said I was having problems with skipped stitches. I haven't had a single one since we started. So it's because of you guys. Thank you very much for making it so I don't have to skip stitches anymore. Either that or it's a fresh needle. This is a fresh needle, so it could be the fresh needle. That is the one thing you want to think about whenever you're having skipped stitches, is to make sure you've changed your needle. All right. So there is the lining for this side, and we are going to go through, and I want to put a top stitch in there. So I'm just going to clip right here and right here. Put a little top stitch in. I'm just switching sides so that I don't have to move that needle over. I could definitely go from the other side, but I'd rather just be ready to go. And you can hear like all the clinking of the kind of cool. I'm not used to using hardware like this. It's kind of fun. I'm gonna move all these threads out of the way. I feel like I have threads everywhere. I don't usually feel this way. It's so funny. Threads don't usually bother me, and yet they are bothering me everywhere.
Move your camera a little bit towards the top of the machine. No, the other way. Yeah.
And I want to move it over again. There she goes. I think I'm a little over this time. I don't think you're going to be able to notice that though much. I feel like I'm taking my bag making to a whole new level, y'all. Thank you, Sallie Tomato. Ah! Okay, I really went off there. It's because I'm talking. Okay, how bad is it? You'll never be able to tell.
Nope.
Okay, so a normal person will never be able to tell. You guys that know will be able to tell. So I went off right here a little bit just because I was talking. Okay, now we're going to finish this bag up. So this is what you do. You want to make sure, as with all bags, that you have a place with which you can open it up, okay? And I'm going to make sure that my zipper is halfway too, because I felt like I was really struggling when I was turning it inside out with the small one. This is a bit bigger, so it shouldn't have that problem. Okay, and then we want to make sure we're leaving a good enough space to open this up. And I did not have enough space in that little itty bitty bag. I ended up having to rip some. And so I'm going to give myself a good 4 inches here, y'all. It's a good 4 inches. Okay. And then I like to pin all the way around. When you get to this junction right here where you're matching up, it's hard because you've got this piece in here from your zipper. When you're matching that up right there, you want your seams, your seams to go, but you want them both going toward the cork side of the bag, okay? And then line up everything else and clip. Go inside. Behave. All right. So I am lining that stuff up right there and sticking so that those are going down toward the cork bag. Stay. There we go. On this side, I can stitch all the way across. It's just in the lining that I need that place open. So we can stitch all the way across here, and we're going to stitch all the way across here. And a lot of bag makers that are doing this awesome cork stuff recommend that you do a little bit more on your lining as a seam allowance than you do on your bag part, and that way your lining isn't crowding inside the bag. How awesome an idea. Yeah. I've been making bags forever and never even thought of it. I could be rich now, y'all. I could be rich. Okay, so make sure y'all can see. I am going to start.
Nope.
Move it.
Move your.
Ooh, I got stuck. Okay, move the camera.
Move either the camera or the machine.
Better? Worse?
No, a little bit further over towards the top. Yeah. And lift up it needs to aim a little.
That way.
That way. Perfect. That's what I wanted.
I'll get you. No worries. Okay. So for that being said, actually I'm going to go this way. Okay. That being said, I am going to keep my needle position the same I did earlier because I had just finished that. I had just finished the top stitch, so my needle was way far over. So actually, it's I didn't actually.
Do you want to go back to your regular foot, or you want to keep your zipper foot?
No, keep your zipper foot. Great question. Because you're going to be going over some real bulk here at the center, they recommend keeping that zipper foot on so that you have that ability. And I found that essential when I was going. I'm not really one to like sew with my zipper foot on, so but I found that was pretty essential. Okay, cool. Going over here, and I am using the edge of my zipper foot, so it's giving me about a 3/8 inch seam here. And then when I get to the very end of this, where I am meeting up with the next part, I am going to switch to a 1/4 inch, so I am simply moving that in or out just a little bit. And you can sort of see how that it just moved my whole everything out of the way. So when I was doing the smaller bag, I did go back and fix those ends just to make sure I had grabbed all the material that I had. I mean, that is the one thing you want to do in any bag you make. You want to make sure that you have grabbed all that material before you turn that sucker inside out, because let me tell you, pulling it back from being inside out, it's a pain in the butt. Uh-oh, moving the camera. Sorry.
No, that was fine. It was okay.
Can still see?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Uh-oh.
Now
I noticed you're skipping over the squares.
I am what?
Skipping over the squares.
Yes, I am skipping over the squares because we're going to use those to create our corners. Thank you for that. Skipping over those squares. All right, wait. Okay, just making sure, got a lot of hardware in here. Uh-oh, moving the camera again.
You're fine.
And then once I get here, I can move back in after I get over this section. A lot of bulk. Yep. That's how I felt the last time. Like my sewing machine I'm sewing with having my zipper foot up.
Did you move your foot over?
I did. I don't know if I moved the needle over or I moved my, it looks like I moved my needle over, but I may not have. I might have just simply moved the fabric over. All right, this will be a point of stress, I will tell you that. So make sure you back stitch right there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go through and take a look to make sure that I caught all of my sides and that I'm okay with everything. It's like I'm having some tension issues right there. No, it's all right. So I'm double checking, clicking some threads here. I like never like that. And then I'm gonna double check on the other side that I'm okay with it on the other side as well. I am gonna check this just to make sure that we're okay. Yeah, everything's fine. I think it's just the fact that I'm using a zipper foot. All right, and so everything looks really good, except for right here. I sort of turned over that fabric. I'm not too worried about that. Everything feels good. All right, cool. Okay, now we're gonna take and turn these corners in. So what you do is you just open this fabric up. Boom. And then I like to put one seam on one side, just like you're nesting in a quilt. So I'm going to nest that seam right up there. And look at me using quilting. Right? Clips. I'm using quilting clips all over the place. I don't even have my pins in here for this project. I haven't used a single pin. I'm a pinner and I haven't used a single pin. And then I'm going to stitch a 1/4 inch off all 4 corners. So I did find in the little baby quilt, in the little baby bag, that this was it was definitely a challenge. So we're going to find out if it's just as much of a challenge with this one. All right, go on now. So open it up as much as you can, even with a regular bag, is just essential. Okay, and then I'm going to put one on one side and one on the other. And gonna go for it. Here we go. So the cork kind of sticks to itself. It has a kind of quality that sort of it doesn't move easily like fabric, and so I do find that to be a little bit of a challenge when working with it. It doesn't turn me off in any stretch, form, or imagination. It just does not. It just is its thing. It still looks fantastic. So this was the bottom. I mean, look at that. I was a little bit off right there. So what? Looks like my finger has. I decided that when I was cooking dinner the other night.
Move the camera.
Moving the camera. Ignore my finger. When I was cooking dinner the other night.
Now
Too much.
Yeah.
Back?
Yeah, that's better.
Better. Okay. There we go. And I am going to go back and forth. Got a little bit of bulk there. Back and forth. And I did, I think, switch to my regular presser foot with the small bag just because I'm more comfortable with it. But it's working okay with the zipper foot. Perfect. And then we'll do the little bitty ones on the other side. Oh my gosh, it's fabric. So cool. It's so light and flexible and I don't have to manhandle it as much. You do have to manhandle the cork just a little bit, just because it's a little on the thicker side. It's kind of fun. Okay, cool. So now, double check. Do all of your, is it sealed on both sides? Okay, there's nothing worse than getting through and realizing that you missed a spot and that you have to open it all the way back up again. Okay, and then, moment of truth, y'all. Here it comes. And I like to go in and grab from like one of the farther corners and pull it out. And you just got to take your time. Come on, you. Come on. Talking to it helps. Come on. There it goes. I see zipper. There we go. Come on. I feel like I'm really pushing it. But then I think that's just because it's cork. So it's a little stiffer than regular fabric. Come on now. I got this. There it goes. Oh, there it goes.
You just birthed a baby.
I did. Look at that. Okay. So I'm going to stick my hand right in here just to push this stuff out. I don't want to put my lining in quite yet because I'm not quite done with my lining. But I can push my ends out. I can get in there to the bottom and push that out. And look at that. I didn't do too badly for just my second cork bag ever. Look at that. No, oh, that one's like right on. Man, if at first you succeed, try not to accidentally.
And it's just about an hour.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. So I am going to do this. I'm going to show you how I did it, but I want to show you one more thing. Okay, before we stop. Okay, so all I did here was closed my seam in and then did a top stitch right across there. Okay, that's how you finish the lining of most bags. Okay, and then let me show you how to do the little clippy thing. Okay.
Okay, I'm switching you back to little camera.
Yeah, switch back. And to make my strap, I already have one made somewhere in here.
And we just added Barb's W from
Hello, welcome, Barb's.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Wonderful. So, okay, so I thought I had one made. Okay, oh, here it is on the floor. Here it is. Okay, so I took this is my strap. So this is what's hanging off the edge right here. Okay, and so it is.
I do it again because I was on the little camera.
Gotcha. This is the strap right here. This part right here. I want to show you how to do that before we quit because that's using the hardware, and the hardware is what's new to me. And so I want to show you how I did that. So just like the other piece, cork is so wonderful that all you have to do is fold it in half and then top stitch. You don't need to do any folding in of a 1/4 inch or anything like that. And you end up with this wonderful strap that's not going to fray. It's not going to do it. That's cool. Okay. Saves a lot of time when you're making bags because you're not having to do all this finishing touch stuff. Okay. And then I don't have rubber pliers because this is my very first time ever doing this. And so I went ahead and watched the videos. Like I said, Sallie Tomato has wonderful videos. But I want to show you something that she didn't explain to me. And that was, I'm sitting here going, okay, So I put this in here. Things were flying all over the place. Look at all these threads. Man, I really got an issue today. So, so right here, I'm actually going to turn this inside because those threads are really going to bother me. But I was like, okay, so in order to protect your hardware, you want to use some batting. Okay, I get that. No problem. Okay, but holding this in place and doing the batting was driving me insane. I could not keep anything straight. Okay, here's the trick. First, clip. Okay, then you don't have two pieces for one. Okay, so that's the first suggestion. Okay, second suggestion is that I went ahead and closed it. Just look at the mouth on this baby. It is a huge alligator. I turned it into a chipmunk. So I started by it's really super easy to close. So I say that as it bounces right off my thing. Okay, it's super easy to close. I'm gonna do this again. Super easy to close. It's like bouncing right off of it. Give me just a sec. I'm just super nervous. I don't want to close it too much. So here we go. Let's see if I'm gonna go straight on. Here we go. So I'm just closing it a little bit, okay? And so I can close it even more because look, the sucker is gonna still slip out, right? Okay, so I can close it even more. I'm just being really, really, I mean, it's not taking anything from me. I'm not putting any pressure whatsoever. I could really go gung-ho. Okay, so now you sort of see, now I have a small chipmunk mouth, okay? And this can slip right in there. And now those teeth are sort of grabbing it. And so it's not going to slide as much as it would have if that big, huge alligator mouth had been open. And so I'm going to put this back on here. Just like that. I'm going to double check that I'm in there straight. So much better than when I started. And now I can close that right up. And I'm going to do it on the other side as well. Make sure you're in there. Go in there. Be good. I'm on TV.
You're crooked, I think.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
It might have been the angle.
Yep. I'm good. Excellent. Okay, stay. Don't move. I mean, I'm not using any force whatsoever. I thought it was going to be like, I'm not using any force whatsoever. That's pretty cool. And it is just a little bit on the crooked side. And there's nothing I can do. I mean, I guess I could open it back up. But, y'all, I don't really, it's all good. It's my second bag. I'm going to go with it. Woo! There we go. Now I can make a third bag and it's going to be perfect. Thank you so much for joining me if you've enjoyed this video. We have lots and lots of stuff. I like to try new stuff constantly, and so you'll see new stuff on our video channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that other stuff, and I'm so glad you joined us. Join us for QuiltNCode's next event. That's on Monday. We are doing a hanky challenge where I'm taking hankies and trying to figure out what to do with them and upcycling them live. We also have a mini challenge that you can see here in the back. And that mini challenge is all on our website and here on YouTube. So we're putting out new videos every few days. So we will see you soon. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful afternoon.